A true remake of Final Fantasy VII has been the product of hopes and dreams for a long time, but after 2015, the seemingly impossible game was truly announced. After an incredible demo, the first part of this series of games will be released on April 10th. Here are 5 things you need to know. The original 1997 game was directed by Yoshinori Kitase and had characters designed by Tetsuya Nomura. However, since the 90s, Nomura has earned his title as a director, in charge of the Kingdom Hearts series. Therefore, instead of directing the remake himself, Kitase gave the job to Nomura. The thing is, he didn't actually tell him. Instead, Nomura found out during a company presentation where he saw his name credited as director. He remembers saying, "It says I'm director for some reason," to which Kitase replied, "Of course it does." The game was initially to be co-developed with CyberConnect 2, the developers of the .hack series and more recently Jump Force and DBZ Kakarot. But over time they started to turn the project from an external one where they collaborated with different companies to an internal one where the entire game was produced in-house. It's also been reported by an industry insider that in fact, Square Enix dumped all of the work CyberConnect 2 had done for the game. This would make sense, since the reason CyberConnect was removed from the project was a difference in development styles. The original Final Fantasy VII was meant to be a showcase for 3D at Square Enix, and a large part of that was creating groundbreaking cinematics that didn't feel like they interrupted the gameplay. One of the most iconic examples of this is the pre-rendered opening, where the camera swoops into the train and then, with no cuts, switches to real-time gameplay. In the remake, they've managed to achieve the same thing, seamlessly switching from an incredible opening by Square Enix visual works to gameplay created in Unreal Engine. Among the many homages the remake dedicates to the original, it's neat to see a technical homage as well. To accommodate the massive amount of content in Final Fantasy VII, the game is being split into parts. However, there's not really enough of Midgar to fit the whole game, so they've worked to bulk up the story. And part of the way they're doing this is to incorporate the canon of future entries like Crisis Core and the prequel mobile game. So all of that lore, character development, and world building will now take place as part of the main story. Many Final Fantasy games have been remastered in the past, but this is the first true remake of a main series title. Therefore, it's had many people asking, what could be next? If you ask remake producer Yoshinori Kitase, he says that he'd particularly love to make a remake of the SNES title Final Fantasy V, since it was the first title he worked on. Final Fantasy V does serve as the inspiration for the Bravely Default series, so it's clear that those systems still have an audience. Thanks for watching OTAQUEST in Japan, and feel free to subscribe to find out more about Japanese anime, games, fashion, music, and more.